let's get into some topics here. The silver packs arrived, and I do have to give kudos to Topps on how fast they came out, because I think when we talked about this 3 weeks ago when the news broke about the cards not being in the packs, I was thinking we were going to be well into December before we got these packs.
I think I said 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
But yeah, moving quick.
They got them out. I know in 160 packs. So if you weren't aware of how we did things, we basically every break that had happened prior. Because we basically shut it off when we figured out there was no SPs, and we waited to get these packs. So we did about 16, 18 breaks prior to that. So basically went one by one and opened the allotment of packs, and everybody had their same team, which I feel is the only way to do it, because we pulled a Bo Bichette rookie auto, we pulled a Luis Robert auto. So the SP teams would have not, they would have gotten that pack, right? So we're doing it this way. It was the fairest way. It was a lot of work. We had a shipping department on it. But anyways. So in 160 packs, 2 Julio Rodriguez SPs, 2 Bobby Witt SPs, 1 CJ Abrams. I actually wound up pulling another CJ Abrams on Monday night, and then 2 autos out of 160 packs. Have you pulled?
Pretty good. So I did about probably a quarter of packs that you did. I did about 5 cases over the weekend. The only SP that I pulled was Hunter Green.
Okay.
And then I pulled 1 Bo Bichette Gold Refractor rookie auto.
Wow. Bo Bichette Gold Refractor rookie auto? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
It was out of finest, though. It was not a chrome.
Okay.
It was a finest.
Because mine that I pulled was Refractor out of chrome. So
okay.
Chrome rookie auto. Like
I put a finest one, yeah.
All right. So I don't know if you guys, did I tell you guys this before the show? Do you know what the Julio sold for?
No.
You saw it, didn't you?
No.
Well, because I put in the time and I put in the effort to understand the market value, I would say $1,800 is what it sold for.
Ding.
Oh, wow, what do you know?
Ding, 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 ding,
Look
ding.
at me.
Right on the money.
I mean,
is that the right price? What do you
it?
guys think? I mean, he's not Jordan.
You said you pulled 2 of these in
Jordan.
100. You said you pulled 2 of these in 160 packs?
Yes, but I think I defied the odds.
Yeah, I would say so probably. Based on what I opened to over the weekend.
Yeah.
Is this just hype based? What do we think this settles at?
I mean, yeah, I think it's almost entirely hype. It's all of this is hype based. Now he had an exceptionally good rookie season. He is the clear and obvious chase. But yeah, for this to be like, I want to say this is only about. I saw like blue wave rookie autos of his going for maybe 1,500 more than this, which feels like not enough of a gap.
I think this
honestly.
actually at some point settles around $500 to $800.
I do think it's gonna go down. I don't know if it's gonna go down as much as Dan said. The reason I feel like this will maintain its value is
depends
because
on what happens in the playoffs.
that too.
He had a great first game.
But I will say, like we talked about this 2 episodes ago, maybe 3 episodes ago. These short print SP based refractors, Topps has only been doing this for 2 years now, so we don't know the long term like what other rookie. We don't have anything to go off of. Pretty much is what I'm trying to say on these refractor based SPs. So if they're as rare as we believe they are, this should be able to maintain its value, especially if they do pretty well in the playoffs, right? If they make a good run.
Well, here's some numbers just to compare it. So on October 10th, a purple refractor auto sold for $1,050. So. Would you rather have a purple auto or would you rather have the SP?
Knowing how rare the SP is, I might want the SP more.
Blue Wave number to 150 sold for $1,025. Now, I don't like the card design. Sorry, is this blasphemous? I don't like the card design.
No, I think I think
I like
that
this one
it's
better
of the base auto.
Yeah. No, just the look.
No, the consensus is that the Julio Rodriguez auto, like if that, because everyone thought that was what the rookie card's going to look like. I think the consensus is, no one really likes it. It's a spring training uniform. Yeah,
horizontal.
Spring training uniform.
There's some guys I've seen that had a horizontal and a vertical. Does he have not
that I can tell, but obviously there's vertical on the rookie SP.
I think that blue wave's a little too busy for me.
Well, I think it's the way the camera took the picture, but I do agree with you. It's not your dad.
That's not like I'd like a blue regular. Do we have those?
Yeah. Yeah. So that adds a factor too. The horizontal does not look as nice as the vertical auto.
Yeah. That's what I'm a traditionalist, I guess. Call me that. I like card regular looking. I don't like books either. I just like the.
You don't like
vertical.
reading?
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah,
in-
no,
in-
not a
in
fan.
this-
I'm not about books.
books on tape.
I'm not about books.
Audiobooks. I mean, we are a podcast, so yeah, we do support the audio format.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
100%. That's
dude. I would rather have the SP seeing the rookie auto. Now I would rather have this SP, and then I'll just go get his first Bowman if I want his autograph.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's was the thought of having the SP. Now, is Witt's vertical though? So I mean, I thought maybe the SP guys would be horizontal to give you a different look, but no, I think it was just him.
The 100 green I pulled was vertical.
There's a few guys. There was a couple scrubs that I've pulled that were, that way too.
So when Topps Update comes out, that'll be his true Topps Update Chrome. That'll be his true base Chrome rookie.
Maybe.
Yeah, if we're gonna play
You
that
can't,
game.
because you can't say this SP is going to be his true rookie because it's a short print.
Yeah.
It should hold the value over time. I just don't think 1,800 is.
I think
it should hold his value over all his rookie cards.
Yeah, it should,
Yeah,
right? It should.
It'll probably be like
Base rookies, no autos. Yeah.
$500 to $800 when it all settles. Maybe $1,000.
Man, I know they had a heartbreaking loss yesterday, but man, if they could make a deep run here, I think it's gonna maintain its value all throughout the off season and
Well, the hobby wants
into
the
next
Mariners to
season.
win. As much as that was a heartbreaker, let's get some wins on the board here.
freaking
I mean,
Jordan, bruh.
I love Jordan's, like, his bat flip. That
was
was
nice.
that's good for baseball.
It was.
That is good. Like, his swag when he hit that ball. I mean, it was no doubt, right?
I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't just like a wall scraper. That was a 440-foot home
yeah,
run
I mean,
to win the game.
we do need more of that in baseball.
100%.
broke their
Like,
back, man.
we need more of that swag. Like, let's anger the other team.
Was there 2 outs with nobody on too? So was there 2 people got? I know there was 2 outs when Pena got the hit, but was there 2 outs when?
I think they got.
I think they had one on. I think they had one
no,
on.
because the other guy got hit. So I think there was 2. I think there was 2 outs. There was 2 outs.
Well,
they
it was
hit
2 outs in the game for sure. It was 2 outs with
when
2
Jordan
on.
was up, but I actually think there was 2 outs with nobody on.
Well, I think they pulled the closer with 2 outs
Yes,
to
they did.
bring in Ray
to bring Robbie Ray.
to face Jordan.
Galaxy brain move.
It's I mean, if you could do it all over again.
Well, and that's and I'm obviously not Dusty Baker or Bruce Bochy, but I think Bruce Bochy always had a good pivot. You can't look at the stats during the regular season and say, you know what, Jordan's 1 for 10 against Robbie Ray, so we're gonna bring in Robbie Ray, who doesn't normally come in the 9th inning, and start him right here to face somebody that he's dominated all year
I know
long.
Bochy was great at managing a bullpen, but there's certain guys that he would go to that would make no sense. Hunter Strickland.
Hunter Strickland is the guy.
Hunter Strickland was
Now that I
like,
think of it.
you look like you can pitch.
And then
But
You gotta be good, right?
you look like a pitcher.
You gotta be good.
You just throw it right down the plate. You have 2 pitches. And then Bobby Witt, 430 on a Bobby Witt. So big difference. I mean, $1,400 difference here. Got to be the second, right? I'm assuming all the other guys fall well behind Bobby Witt here.
Yeah, I think so. He had a really, really good year. Bad defensive player this year, but the hobby doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
That much. Unless you're like a really good defensive player and a great hitter, that's when they really
And I seen because I hit one and I looked it up. I hit SP Wander over the weekend and it was horizontal. And I looked it up. He only sells for about like $120.
Wow. Interesting. And so another baseball topic that's been floating around, Henry Davis signed a ball that said, what did it say there, Cody? So like a 6 or 7 year old went up to Henry Davis, and
so
this ball also was in a sweet spot holder
Yes.
to prevent the player from signing anywhere but the sweet spot.
Kid goes up to Henry Davis, the catcher prospect, #1 pick from the draft a couple years back. It's in a little sweet spot holder, and it said, "Stop using your kid for autos, please."
And you know what's actually ironic about that? Before we dive into this, that actually might sell for more than his auto.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it's a one-off. It was proven that he signed it. So, I mean, a regular Henry Davis auto might sell for $30 or $40 on a ball, but this one, he becomes a star. It might be, I don't know, it might be on Golden Auctions.
So that was one of 2 incidents. Then another incident happened. Anthony Rizzo, Yankees first baseman, is coming out of a parking garage, And the video looks really bad because he rolls down the window, a kid comes up to him, and he starts pointing at the kid's dad like, if you flip me off again, I swear I'm going to, do something. And it's like, whoa, what's happening here? Story was apparently the dad is like trying to flag him down. He doesn't see him because he's driving. Or trying, he's going to work or whatever.
But his car's not driving for him nowadays?
Yeah,
Jeez.
well, some guys like to drive themselves,
You hit home runs and just drive yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It really makes you feel like one of the people. Anyway, but yeah, I guess the guy flips him off, and then Rizzo's like, dude, you're using your kid. You literally just flipped me off, and now you're giving your
He flipped him off to get his attention, or he flipped him off
He
because he
flipped
wasn't.
him off
Because he wasn't.
He drove by him because he was going into the parking garage. He was doing something else. I think he was at the stadium. He's going to work.
So he remembered him from earlier in the day, flipping him off.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Yeah. So
Speaking of self-driving cars, you brought that up. I saw a Tesla. One of your people.
My people.
Your people. Basically just cut somebody off today. Like does it do that in auto drive or
No, that's user
you just,
error.
You get no. I was like, man, I'm like, just because you're in a Tesla doesn't mean you can run people off the road. Well, maybe it does. I don't know.
Yeah, the lane changing is a little weird. I don't use that.
This person just almost sideswiped.
No, that's
somebody.
just Bay Area driving. That's you're out here.
that's fair.
We're like if we were a team of 32, we'd be ranked 32 in the entire
31.
United
I'd
States.
say LA would be 32.
Yeah, but they have a lot more patience than we do.
Ooh.
'Cause they sit
Ooh.
back.
I don't know.
I think
that
LA
is
has
that
less
is actually
patience.
Hard disagree.
That is a great topic. Why didn't we just have that as a segment?
It's been a slow week.
I mean,
You dip.
I
Worst
think
drivers, Bay Area or LA drivers?
I'm not gonna say that
no,
LA
I mean,
drivers are worse, but they're not more patient than us. They're more aggressive, and if you're not an aggressive driver in LA, you need to get out the way because they're gonna run you off.
well,
the road.
I mean, I've done a little
Maybe
bit.
aggressive is a better tactic.
Done a
because-
little bit of driving in New York, but you got to be aggressive.
Yep.
Got to
no,
be
but yeah,
aggressive.
because nobody drives in New York too.
Yeah, and then Chicago it's a little difficult over there to get around.
I think but every time I go to LA, once you hit, get down the grapevine.
Get off the grapevine.
And then you're in, like, you're going on 101, you could see LA. Like, I always feel like I got to speed up my car, like, at least 5 to 10 miles per hour more because the
gotta be
driving
very
is different.
aggressive.
Yeah, you have to be aggressive. I always feel, I'm like, am I driving faster than usual? And it's like, I was just on 5,
Well,
booking it. And I still feel like I'm driving
you'll just
faster.
get run right off the
Yeah,
road.
right.
Like,
Exactly.
You'll be on the shoulder, just like,
See,
how
but
did I get here?
I prefer that because, like, I don't know how many times people get on ramps and stop in the Bay Area. It's like a merge to get on either the freeway or an expressway, and I don't know how they passed the driver's test, but they thought I'm just gonna stop here and wait for traffic.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you have your own lane to get in. Just keep going.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
But they do it all the time. And
But it's hard to sit there and just wait for. I mean, no one's gonna go on a highway and just like come to a complete stop and be like, go ahead.
yeah, and
Not
I'm
here.
talking about freeway on ramps. There's like the people stop. I probably faced it like a couple times this month.
Well,
where
out
somebody just
here
stopped.
on 101, you have no choice.
No,
Like,
there's people. I've been behind somebody that
it's
stopped there.
Well, no, there's a light there.
Well, no, I mean, I'm
You
talking
want,
about.
you want him
I'm
just to
talking-
go straight to the light?
No, I mean, there is. I've done that before too. No,
What are
I mean,
you
it's
doing
like,
stopping? There's a light. We don't stop
we
here.
don't stop here. We have things to do. But
And then speaking of that too, like we're so used to SoCal and Northern California driving real quick before we move on. There's also other places like you guys were mentioning other aggressive places like Chicago, New York. There's places like Atlanta where everybody goes a speed limit or lower. So you actually got to drive like slow. Like when I went over there to drive, I was like, what the heck is this? It's like you got to go like speed limit or slower because these people are like they're so like
they're just
they're not in a rush.
Sunday.
They're not in
Yeah.
a rush to get anywhere.
When I was in like Raleigh, like North Carolina, it was kind of like that.
I
Like,
felt
nobody-
like
nobody's speeding.
in Hawaii, in Honolulu, I felt like a maniac on
Yeah.
the road. But I'm like, I'm just going the speed limit. Why is everyone, what's everyone doing?
Yep.
You were just swerving out of your way, like
Yeah.
let this guy pass.
Yeah.
Well, I think I kind of figured out what happened. Back to the the people getting memorabilia signed by players at games. Henry Davis's tweet said, "Great talking to Cash, 6-year-old, and signing his A's hat." Well, that just shows you right there what happened. 'Cause he's an A's fan. Feel sorry for him. But probably from Henry Davis included that in there because why are you coming up to me? You have an A's hat on. I'm on the Pirates, right? He's still on the Pirates.
Yes.
Should you know that?
Did I
Like,
get
you
you?
don't know who I am. He said he didn't know my name, but his dad said he had to run across the field to get my auto. Hard to connect with fans when someone make a barrier between us. I will be catching in the pen today if any kids want to come and talk ball.
That's cool. That's a cool thing.
Yeah,
but what are your thoughts? Because you're literally having this. The transaction here is literally like, hey, Mr. Player, I need $50, right? That's in a nutshell. That's how the player's looking at it. It's almost like you're begging for money. When you're getting an autograph.
I think.
But what if like players go back to inscribing it with the kid's name on it? Because that kind of devalues it, right?
I mean, they should
possibly. Yeah. I was gonna say. Like, obviously, I have no problems with adults getting autographs from athletes, but as long as they're doing it themselves, right?
Yeah.
And not necessarily using their kids just to get autographs that they want to just sell real quick. Because, obviously, there's a lot of people that we know that are adults or, young adults that they get the autographs themselves. They go at the extra work to try to get these athletes' autos. And
but it also I guess you could sell it without a COA because we have plenty of people doing that. But still, you also have to go to PSA, JSA, or
you got to get authenticated.
You got to get authenticated because I know there's a guy that does this with Curry at the games and then gets a PSA PSA. So I don't know if he's selling them, but maybe he wants PSA. But
and we actually have a good customer that always gets autographs. At those Warriors games all the time, from all the players and stuff, because he has pretty good seats, I guess. But
do you think the player, this is a question for you guys, and also for you guys that are listening, and you can comment on the video here, is, do you think the players are mindful of their value of their autograph?
I think they, 100%.
That's what they're thinking about when they're doing this?
I think because of their contracts they've had with cards, like now the current players. And the players back in the day when they would do appearances, they're getting paid to go to these card shows back in the 90s. They know they're getting paid for this. They know there's value there. So they understand it. They've always understood it. I think that's why there's so much backlash. It's you're using your kid to monetize off my name.
But this was never a thing in the 80s. I mean, there were certain players. But you see this run rampant now. Hank Aaron and, Mantle and stuff. You never heard stories.
I think it was going on.
Babe Ruth would sign for kids all day long, or Babe Ruth would sign for people all day long. That's why there's so many Babe Ruth autograph personalized or even ball stuff out there.
I think it was going on. You just didn't have the social media to show attention to it.
And I think, too, I think you agreed, Dan, that, it's part of it's because it's out there so much more. The players can go look up how much their auto is worth, especially a guy like Henry Davis, who's probably been signing a lot since he got drafted. He probably knows very well that his autos and his cards sell well for prospects sell well. These guys are just way more aware of this.
And
they can look it up easily.
He has his own personal outlet to make it known, right? Back in the 90s, what would a player do? Go talk to the clubhouse manager and be like, man, I think they're trying to use their kids to get autographs to sell it somewhere. They don't. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna basically call up the local paper and go, I want you to write a column about this?
They wouldn't waste their time.
It's just you didn't have the reach that you have now.
And you could also throw eBay in that, right? So players probably in the 80s. They wouldn't see the stuff that would get sold because it'd probably be sold at a card show or a memorabilia show, right? But now, we've talked about this before on this show. Is you wonder what these players. We don't know what they're getting paid, but let's just say Henry Davis is signing for Topps at let's say $5 to $10 an auto, and he's signed for 2 days worth of autos, right? And he sees his superfractor go for $20,000. He doesn't know that it's because it's a Topps card and it's a superfractor. He's just thinking, man, and maybe that's why a lot of guys don't sign past their initial signing. You don't see some of these guys until they turn into a Trout who gets probably a massive autograph deal. But they probably there's probably a sense of they going on eBay because it's the new generation now, and they're seeing these prices and they feel like they got duped. They got underpaid. Not understanding the way that the card game works, and this card has to be pack pulled, and there's guys that sell for a lot less than them that are in the packs too. But you got to kind of get that sense, because if you're just playing baseball for 20 years and then now you got an autograph deal and somebody's like, I'm gonna give you $5 for your auto, you're like, yeah, that's awesome, all I gotta do is sign auto. But then you're 6 months later when the product comes out, you're like, wait a second, this is going for
they probably
$200, $300, $400.
They probably do an eBay search with their name, autograph or auto, and then look at completed listings and then go highest first.
Yeah.
And go like, wait a second, I remember signing those cards.
Yeah.
I got paid $8, and that card sold for $12,000. Like, wait a second.
That's something else I think to take into consideration is that you were mentioning these older players who showed up at a lot of these things, got paid for these things. Guys are getting, I mean, I don't know what Henry Davis's signing bonus was, but it was probably enough to be like you said, after the initial signing period is over, it's like, well, Henry Davis is getting paid a lot more than, Hank Aaron was getting paid to begin his career. So there's a little bit of like, do I even need this? Like,
You
so
can go back to like the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Like, unless you were like a top draft pick, you were going to the minors and you were struggling financially.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just, it goes into what's going on with the Fanatics deals where the players are going to get more on the back end with this stuff now. So, yeah, players are just, they're smarter when it comes to this. They're more money smart when it comes to all this stuff, I think, nowadays, and it's easier to look this stuff up than it was in the past. Simple as that.
And I get it. I'm in the industry, so I wouldn't do this, but like I get it's hard to ask somebody for their autograph. There's a lot of anxiety there. Some people don't have a filter, and they could just ask. So I get the pushing the kid, and maybe he wasn't going to sell it. I don't know. I mean, obviously the kid's wearing an A's hat, probably not going to keep it in the way the optics look, but it's tough. I mean, to this day, it's hard for me to like. I don't want to ask these guys for autographs. I'm doing stuff with them. I mean, we've been around a lot of players in this field, and
I mean,
and people are like, you didn't get his autograph. It's like I he was working. I don't want to be that guy.
It's against the rules for us to ask for autographs, like for the most part
in certain settings. Yeah.
Certain settings. But yeah, I mean, like you're saying, it is tough. You're like partnering with this person. You're working together with this person. Like, you don't want to make it awkward like that.
Well, who was it? Was it Anthony Kiedis and Flea that had a good thing about autographs? Remember we were reading that? It was like a couple months back.
I'll have to look it up.
Or was it Dave Grohl?
No, we were looking at that, but I think that these guys like would rather have a conversation with their fans. But it's they feel like the transaction is they're less human.
I saw something
they're just an object, right? So they're like, we'd rather, like the Chili Peppers were like, we'd rather sit and have a 10-minute conversation with fans than hey, can I take a picture, get an autograph? Hey, all right, bye.
Like the meet and greets.
Yeah, and it's like literally just somebody, and I'm guilty of this too because I took a picture with Joe Montana. I mean, I did have a conversation with him, but like it's like the transaction is like you don't care about me, you care about how it looks on social media or how much money you're going to make on the autograph, right?
Yeah, I just saw something very similar to that Dave Grohl video that we watched is with Billy Joe from Green Day. He basically he walked up and he was signing everything, right? People had like albums and all this stuff, and he's just like, every time he'd sign, he's like, how much are you going to sell this for on eBay? Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen one of these yet. This is probably going to go for a lot on eBay. And he just kept on like going through the list, like saying like, look, I know you guys are here, and you're just basically like, I'm coming in and I'm just printing you guys money here, and then I'm going to go off and do my thing.
How much percentage would you put on like the people that are in that crowd trying to get things signed? How much are like people that just want that for like their personal?
I think it's about 95% of people who are trying
to sell. You mean?
95% of people were trying to sell. At the airport, like when they know that like said famous person is going to be coming out of that terminal. I think 95, maybe even closer to 100%. Is just autograph hounds who are looking to flip it and make money on it.
And how do those people know? Do they get in contact? I know we're spending a lot of time on this.
How does TMZ know?
That's what I'm saying. Does somebody at Southwest? Because I mean, obviously, when you're getting on a plane,
it's probably the same network. Like the same people who talk to TMZ probably talk to the autograph people.
But do they go up to like TSA or do they go up to Southwest or Delta and be like, there's some of the names we're looking for?
I'd imagine that's classified information, right? Like you can't just say that.
Grease the wheels of the TSA peeps, you know?
Or do they have somebody sitting in like a Texas airport or something that's like, that's Dave Grohl. He's going to LA and it's landing. Get on the phone. Tell my people in LA.
It's just like you're following them around the terminal. They go to the bathroom. It's that classic Jamie Kennedy skit from Harold and Kumar.
Hi.
Like you just get in the urinal right next to him. You're just like, hey.
But I'm assuming there's probably got to be some kind of Discord, right? There's going to be some kind of Discord or something that's like, hey, if you're in the LA area and if you have Foo Fighters memorabilia, Dave Grohl's landing at 5:30.
100%. There is probably a huge network, and it very well could be like on Reddit or Discord or something like that.
I think it's even more simple of like guys are looking at tour schedules too and be like, okay, the last leg of their tour is here, or their tour's over, so they're probably going to be coming home to LA.
He's going to fly into LAX. I'm going to
Yes.
sit by for
3 days.
Yeah. I'm going to sit by
Just
the
wait.
exit because I mean LAX. I mean you have famous people probably flying in and out of there.
But there's
all day
3
long.
airports there, though.
Yeah, but
LAX is where
is
most
gonna
of the
be-
traffic still is happening.
I mean,
Burbank, I mean, we've seen
David Arquette. David Arquette. I don't know.
Not quite Dave Grohl.
Not quite Dave Grohl.
Yeah, that guy is pretty famous, man.
Hey, Scream's a pretty big
Scream.
franchise of
Scream.
movies.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, he
it-
was married
it-
to Monica for
one
a
of
long
my
time.
one of my favorite stories is that he looked like he had a night the previous night. It was like 7 a.m. He was just like going through the Burbank terminal and he looked pretty wrecked. It was pretty rock and roll.
Ready to Rumble, underrated.
Well, let's get it. We got some more topics before we get into Guess That Price, so get ready for that one. I think it's going to be – I put it together. I think it's going to be pretty fun. But more juice case allegations. Juiced case. Not like Balco, but like the cases are too good.
Squeezing out the hits.
And they're handed, and the tinfoil hat crowd is saying that certain cases are going to certain people. So as you can see here, the collectible guru, there's a Backyard Breaks has pulled the Cade Cunningham logo man out of NT. Mind you, NT's came out 6-7 months ago now. It feels like it. Maybe it was only 3.
It's been a while.
But there's been 4 major hits out of basketball products. The triple logo man that we talked about in prior episodes. The black finite Cade Cunningham out of Prism, which is the number 1 hit out of that. So now it's just like, what is, the crowd's like, what's the mathematics? Like, how is this possible? How does one group keep getting these number 1 hits out of products? So, and I see it. I see the optics. I understand what you guys are seeing. I mean, we pulled the Mac Jones. Nobody said we get juice cases. But anyways.
Oh, they did. Oh, they did, though.
They did?
Oh, yeah.
I must have tuned it out.
Oh, yeah.
But, they've had a lot of big hits over the last few months, and you can see it in the tweet number 2 here. I will make this statement, is that Panini America, all of these products were sold prior to any of us getting them. They were sold to distributors. So there's no way that this was planted. And National Treasures is a perfect example of a product that's been out for 5 months. So this was just sitting on the shelf somewhere, sitting at a distributor, and they got the call, got a reorder going, shipped out to them. It's luck of the draw. They do a lot of volume. They have 4 to 5 channels on Whatnot, and they go at it. They go through it, and they only focus on high end. So they're going through a lot of high end. So that's simply that. The distributors don't care where the cases are coming from. Panini's already sold it, so they don't care if you get nothing in your case. They don't care if customer gets it.
They want you to get.
They don't care.
They want
where
you to enjoy the process.
They want
enjoy
you to enjoy
opening.
that. Yes, but they don't know where these things are going because it's already sold. So why do they care?
Yeah, they're not sitting on pallets and pallets and pallets of National Treasures in the Panini warehouse. They're not. And plus, if they were, and then these cards come out, that's not beneficial for them if they are holding on the product,
Right.
because now you have another product hit that's gone out of the product. So we've seen it happen with Flawless. That triple logo man, when it was pulled, Flawless started dipping. It was dipping.
We lost $100,000 on Flawless after that.
Oh, dip.
I would prefer it to still be in the cases.
You dip, we all dip. Flawless was dip in.
That's a great song, by the way.
Super dip.
We need to,
Super dip.
Somebody needs to redo that song. I put my hand up on your hip.
I think there's a dance.
Please don't.
There's a dance that went along with it, too.
That should be your losing of the bet. You should stand up and do the dance right now. But some blue checkmark people came out. Matt Overton, who is that a former baseball player?
Football.
Football.
No, you're talking Dylan. Dylan Overton.
That's what I was thinking.
Dylan Overton.
Yep.
Is
Great-
it possible
the
they
grade
get juiced? You put an arrow, former NFL player. I can see. I can't read. I cannot read, guys.
A. Well, there goes that whole book talk again.
Yeah, exactly. Hooked on phonics work for me. Is it possible that they get juice cases because of their viewership? Once again, to dispel that theory, this product came out 5 months ago. There's really no legs. They're the ones still doing it. We decided to not do it because it's gotten a little bit overpriced. It's not NBA season. They stuck with doing it. Their crowd wanted it, so there's a matter of time. They hit it. Panini would probably want these out if they were planning this. They'd probably want this out in like preview cases. Maybe not necessarily this hit, but they would want, if they were juicing the cases for sales, they'd want something big to come out early.
But not too big.
Not too big.
Not too big. You don't want to show off the product hit.
But Cade also, was he the biggest hit when the product came out?
Yes. Yeah.
You think so?
Definitely.
But it was pretty close between him, Mobley.
I do believe the Jalen Green logo man has now been pulled as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody, it would have been Green, I think would have been the number 2. But, like, Cade is the guy. Is the number 1 pick. Had a great second half of his season.
And he's dipping now.
Yeah.
And then Hoodie Allen, who's a hip hop star. Anybody?
I don't.
He's got 1 million plus followers.
I can tell you, I was like, who's this guy? Oh, 1 million followers. Also looked into him. First of all, I was like, who is this guy? Brand new guy. He's only been around, I guess, since 2015 or so. But used to work at Google and then became a hip hop star.
That is
story.
That's the normal trajectory for hip hop.
Obvious. That's obvious. I don't even know. I don't know how that doesn't happen like
Rags to riches.
every month that should happen.
Riches to riches.
Right.
And then we had some we had Real Breaks. They are ripping more product than everyone else. These particular products, the math is in their favor. Like other big breakers, they source their product from many different distributors and often dealers. Panini does not offer product direct unless you have a brick and mortar. And we'll tell you what, there's no brick and mortar that's getting more than 1 to 2 cases. So
maybe like the
larger established
maybe
ones.
the brick and mortars that have been around for a long time, they may be getting like 4 or 5 cases, but I don't think any direct account that is a typical brick and mortar is getting more than 5 cases direct.
Watch the Breaks, our friend over there who's got a great Twitter account if you're not following it, at Watch the Breaks. How many different channels are Backyard Breaks at this point? And what percentage of high-end products are they getting relative to the rest of the pool? ? If they are breaking 60% of flawless, it's not that fishy. If they are breaking 10% of flawless, it becomes more fishy. Just it literally, if you watch them, they're not breaking much base product.
Maybe they're just better at opening up boxes than everybody else.
You
ever think about that?
They're trained just like you did on eBay.
I mean, I get it. I put in the work. They put in the work.
But I actually to talk about them, and we did a report when the old Trevor Lawrence thing came out, and I was thinking about it again last night because I saw this Cade get pulled, and I was like, I'm starting to think that was planned. You know what I mean? The gold Trevor kaboom, because basically there's a lot of haters, there's a lot of lovers, and this is just my opinion. I'm not saying it is, but like,
Allegedly.
just think about where they were when that happened to where they are now, right? So you do a free giveaway, you pull it back and say, we're not giving this away, right? And then all of a sudden your name is out everywhere. Everybody's talking about you in a negative way. You now go to the Girls and Boys Foundation and you donate $20,000 and you give away whatever on the feed. Now, there's still haters, but every time something comes up about them, somebody comments.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, the way that this is getting lined up now is almost like that was like their Kim Kardashian moment, their early Kim Kardashian moment.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that took a different direction.
Now you got to have thick. When she made Keep Up with Kardashian.
Oh yeah, I get.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's where she got famous. Yep, that's how we all know.
But that's my hot take. I mean, like, it was a free giveaway. It was a $10,000 card that got pulled and then said we can't give this away. How much press did that give them? How much people are still talking about that?
You got to pull the card first, right?
Yeah, but it could have been something that's like.
So you think they were just like, okay,
next time we pull a free
we're gonna
giveaway.
do all these giveaways, and then when we pull one that is really really big, we're gonna do the old psych, not going to give it away. And we're going to get tons of bad press. But we just started. Like I think the risk versus reward is too great on that.
Did it not work?
Yeah, but it could have very easily didn't work, and they could not even be here at this point. I don't think you take that risk. I think that's crazy. I get what you're saying. I get it, but
I mean, these are young guys. They know how social media works, right? And they could have said, you know, we're gonna make a like what's the way to make the.
So they basically have designed a pathway for all of us to get super famous.
I don't know about that.
Well, no. I mean, you're saying that they did that. Why wouldn't you take your own advice?
It's a big gamble. It's a big gamble.
There we go.
But you see the results now. You see the results now. But if when we originally talked about this story, everybody thought they were done. So it looked like it looked like just being dumb. But now I'm just saying, like, look at the name. Look at how the industry's perception of them has changed. And literally it was like they had everybody marketing for them.
Like
they
us.
had the entire hobby. Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Like
we're
right
doing
now.
it right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
They got us again.
Oh, son of a.
Mojobreak.com to buy your brakes. Mojobreak.com. Mojobreakshop.com for your sealed wax.
We're
also on What Not To.
We pull fire. I swear.
All day.
We don't have juice cases.
We don't.